The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour.
Grizz Nation, Friday night just got a whole lot better. Introducing Buckets and Brews, the ultimate way to tip off your weekend. Every Friday this season, grab a terrace-level ticket to the Grizz game and 2 12-ounce Miller Lights for just $55. Get great seats, cold brews, and Grizzlies basketball. It's everything you need to start your weekend off right. So get the deal that's too cold to hold. Go to grizzlies.com/Friday to lock in your tickets today.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Jeff Dunham. You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realized I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. Do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
Here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio. We're in FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't get too excited. No, I hope you did get excited. I just hope you weren't too disappointed. The Grizzlies got up by 20 yesterday in Berlin. Buddy, it was off to a nice start. And then, they lost the second quarter, they lost the third quarter, they lost the fourth quarter, they lost the game. But still, it was fun and entertaining, and we might have ended up on the wrong end of the viral dunk of the season, if not the century. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. The next segment, about 20 minutes, Jessica Benson is going to join me. She, of course, is the host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, weekdays 8 a.m., Grind City Media. She's going to pop in that chair, sit right in between me and Bennett. I'll talk all things Grizzly with Jessica. When I finish chopping it up with her, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we will discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Memphis and UNLV have agreed to a home-and-home series in football that will start next season in Las Vegas. The game will be played on August 29th. You know what that is? That's week 0. I know how Bennett's been fired up about the possibility of the Tigers being in week 0. Now he gets it. We'll get into it in about 40 minutes. Penny Hardaway's Tigers, they're going to return to the court this weekend, hosting UTSA. That means it's time to smack some road runners. We'll get you ready for that in just a bit. Big point shaving scandal, rock college basketball yesterday. The preseason Conference USA Player of the Year was charged. Like Dwayne Wade and Antonio Burks once won that award. Now the dude who won it in the preseason is charged in an illegal gambling scheme. It's a wild deal. Tell you more about it a little later on in the show. In MLB, the rich always get richer. The best free agent available. He signed with the World Series winning Dodgers. Kyle Tucker is moving to Los Angeles. He picked the Dodgers over the Mets. Nobody wants Steve Cohen's money. I'll cry about that in the third segment. And we're down to what amounts to the Elite Eight of the NFL playoffs. We've got 2 games on Saturday, We got 2 games on Sunday. I'm going to ask Bennett what he's most looking forward to during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout. We will call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because, game 40 of a scheduled 82, it was played Thursday in Berlin, Germany. It was actually exciting. Fun game. Big collapse, unfortunately. Another loss, unfortunately, but still fun game in the sense that it was still up in the air in the final minutes. It's a one-possession contest with 64 seconds remaining. Final score, though, Magic 118, Grizzlies 111 inside of a sold-out Uber Arena. Can't be long till we get us a lift pavilion somewhere. The Grizzlies actually led by as many as 20 points. After a 39-point first quarter, they led for 56% of the 48 minutes in this game, but they were outscored by 7 in the second quarter, by 14 in the third, and by 2 in the fourth, and that's a recipe for squandering a big lead. Desmond Bane, our old buddy, he took 13 shots, made 5 of them, finished with 13 points in 34 minutes. In his first game against the franchise that selected him, Jaren Jackson Jr. led all scorers with 30. He grabbed 3 rebounds in 33 minutes. So the Grizzlies are now 17-23 on the season. Next up, Sunday's game, also against the Magic, but this time in London at the O2. Tip is scheduled for 11 a.m. Central. Good morning, Big Bet Bennett. It's nice to see you in person.
You too, man. You too.
Give me all your big takeaways from the Grizzlies' 7-point loss in Berlin.
It's kind of just been the story a little bit of how this season is going. It's wild. The record's not good, but it's not like they got blown out in that Suns game, right? But outside of that one, they're not really getting blown out in any of these games. It's late collapses is what's happening. And it's what happened yesterday. They had a big lead at halftime. It goes away, and then you just can't get it back towards the end of the game. And that's just kind of how it's been going lately. It's
and by lately, I know you mean years.
Squandering late leads.
Squandering leads, being injured, everything we've been talking about, it feels like we've been talking about it for forever. So, I know everybody deals with injuries, but they're more dramatic here, more consistent here. And once again, yesterday, the Grizzlies were playing a game without several theoretical rotation pieces, but most notably without their starting center and their starting point guard. John Morant and Zach Edey were both on the bench, but on the bench in street clothes, unavailable for different reasons. With Zach Edey, we got the medical update on him earlier in the week. It's going to be a while, and there's some thought that some people think that he could be shut down for the whole season if the priorities switch from trying to make the playoffs to maybe trying to get into the Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa, Cameron Boozer lottery. As always, we'll see. But basketball's hard when you don't have your starting point guard and you don't have your starting center. And unfortunately, around here for a while now, having the starting point guard and having the starting center, particularly the starting point guard, that ain't really been a thing. And every problem the franchise has can, in some ways, be traced back to that.
I think you mentioned Jaren, he has 30 points in the game, and it's one of those things. Last night, I'm just kind of screaming, I'll get him the ball late in the game. I think he scored with 3 minutes left and then didn't touch it again. He's the best player on this team right now. You gotta get him the ball late in the games.
Well, this is also the byproduct of playing without your best lead guards and relying largely on people who either don't play that position or haven't played it much or aren't equipped to play it well at this level on that stage. The people who have plugged those holes, whether it's Vince Williams, who was good yesterday, or Cam Spencer, who has been tremendous, broadly speaking, they have been tremendous, broadly speaking. But it's tough. It's tough to win basketball games consistently when there is so many important pieces watching and not playing. And so not surprised by the result, but obviously, regardless of your status report, once you're up 20, you expect to win that game.
You got to win that game.
Once you're up 20, you expect to win that game. So to watch another one slip away, obviously disappointing. The lasting visual out of it, though, will not be necessarily an image of the Grizzlies collapsing as much as it'll be an image of the Grizzlies getting dunked on in transition. The Anthony Black dunk went viral. Bennett, I don't know if we have video, but I think we at least have the still of it. But, oh, buddy, this is going to be a woo! That's a picture, isn't it? That's a picture.
I mean, that is just a hell of a picture. I can't sit here and say, well, we weren't. There's nothing you could say.
What are you going to
do? There's nothing to be said.
I mean, what are you going to do?
That is a wild.
That is Anthony Black surrounded by 4 Grizzlies, none of whom were able to prevent him from dunking that basketball. I've seen a lot of posters in my years. That's up there pretty good. I mean, that's up there pretty good. I mean, if I were Anthony Black or related to Anthony Black, that's probably one we gonna have. That's probably one we gonna take to Walgreens or CVS and get them to print it out for us. We gonna get that one framed.
That's one of those like when we're doing radio yesterday because it's a unique setup, right? With this international game, we're actually in the team store.
Right.
Doing the radio broadcast, and we got like the big screen in front of us, and I mean, all of us were just like,
"Come on, man."
It was, man, just it's piling on.
That is
piling. Anthony Black, come on, shame on you.
It feels like
shame on you.
It feels like piling on at some point. But it was an incredible dunk. That's an amazing picture.
That's an amazing picture.
I hate that the Grizzlies are on the wrong end of it, but strictly from a poster perspective, that's about as good as it gets. Unfortunately,
credit where it's due.
Credit where it's due. Credit's where it's due.
And also, I don't know. Like like Vince Williams is a great defender. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a former defensive player of the year. Like, what do you want them to do? Just stand there and let him do it? Like, I respect the contest, but you always risk that image.
Yeah, but that's fine. I come down on the side of I'm anti make a business decision. You hear that sometimes? Yeah, he had to make a business decision. And that's when somebody doesn't challenge at the rim.
Yeah, I respect guys that go for it.
I do too.
Yes.
I think, I don't know where my opinion changed on this because I would be like, that was smart. He made a business decision. Man, like, you know what? We're playing basketball. We're competing. Go try to get it. Go try to get the ball. If you're in foul trouble, different thing. Circumstances, I'll take it on a case-by-case basis. But largely, like, we're playing basketball. We're trying to get it in that one. They're trying to get it in this one. It is partly my job to try to prevent them from getting it in this one. So I'm going to try. I'm in a position to try. I'm going to try. I appreciate the effort. I like the attempt. Wish one of them could have touched the ball, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think Jaren was probably the closest. Like, the block from behind was the closest.
Bro, put that picture back up again, Kyra. We got 8 Grizzly hands surrounding that ball. There's 8 Grizzly hands. 8 of them. How you got 8 Grizzly hands can't touch one ball?
Jaren was the closest, for sure. Jaren was the closest. He was a step behind in that situation.
8 hands up there. That's tough. That's tough.
Anthony Black, man, he'll have that forever.
I remember when we used to be the franchise that would get the viral dunks, you know?
Yeah.
We used to be the franchise that people would take pictures of our players dunking on people.
Right.
You remember that?
I do remember that.
Man, wasn't that something?
It can happen again.
It doesn't sound like it.
Okay, he's not the only player in the league that can dunk. Like, come on. We got other dudes that can dunk the basketball.
We sure did used to act like he was the only person who could dunk.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
That was funny. John Morant, I guess that's who you're speaking about.
That's who I'm talking about.
He was on the bench yesterday and seemed to be in good spirits. Looked like he got a talking to. It looked like, to put it in simple terms, it looked like he got a talking to.
Listen, respect. Like, I'm glad that he was out there supporting his teammates. But yeah, that's the most enthusiastic I've seen him in a minute.
I don't know if it was a Adam Silver who gave him a talking to, or if it was a Nike person that gave him a talking to. I don't think the Grizzlies are in a position to give him a talking to anymore. He doesn't seem receptive to that. But I watched him on the sideline, and I was like, he does not look or sound anything like the young man I saw do that press conference earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
He must have got a talking to.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Who's to say?
Who is to say?
Yeah.
Who is to say? And these poor Grizzlies players, bless their hearts. I mean, there's Jaren Jackson Jr. up there after another loss, another blown lead, having to answer questions probably at some point about grabbing 3 rebounds in 33 minutes. But at some point, I know for sure he was asked, how awesome was it to see John Morant cheering for you on the sideline? And I'm just like, man, Jaren Jackson Jr., I've known this for a while. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a better man than I. I've known that for a while. But I was reminded of it yesterday because I dare you to ask me that question, given all the bullshit we're going through. I wouldn't be able to handle it as well as Jaren could.
Oh, he's great at that.
Jaren was
he's great in media settings.
Jaren was like, I guess it's always nice to, when things are going well on the court, you look over at the bench, and he just didn't even know what to say. He was just like, it's dope. He was like, I guess it's dope. I guess it's dope that John Morant is cheering for me. After all the other stuff leading up to that moment. I gather we now as a community have settled into, the real reason Ja is mad is because he didn't get a contract extension last offseason. It ain't so much about the first-year coach that he butted heads with early in the season. I mean, that's probably, that's something, but that ain't the main course here. The main course here is that he's been pissed from the jump because he watched him pay Desmond Bane once upon a time, and then he watched him pay Jaren Jackson Jr., and he was eligible for a contract, and if they wanted to, they could have put all that money on the table for him too, and they opted not to do it, and he's mad. Is that where we are now as a community?
I mean, that's a tale as old as time. We've seen that in the league many occasions. Sure. I'm sure that is definitely a thing. I'm sure that he is not happy with that.
And that's fine because he can be not happy with it. He's proven capable of not being happy about any number of things. So I'm sure that unsurprising that would also be on the long list of things that bother him. But do you know what would have happened if the Grizzlies gave him a max extension last offseason? Do you know what the reaction would have been from literally everybody who doesn't sleep holding jaw threes? Do you know what the reaction would have been? What are they doing? What are they doing would have been the reaction. How on earth can you commit more max money, more years, to a person who never plays basketball? What are you doing? There's no urgency to this. He's got multiple years left on the deal. Why wouldn't you make him go out and play next season and see if he can, A, stay healthy, B, stay calm, and C, be awesome? This franchise would have been ripped to pieces by everybody who talks and thinks about the NBA if they would have given him the extension everybody seems to think he's now upset he didn't get. So that's just crazy talk to me. You push back. You could not give him that money under these circumstances, all things considered.
I mean, I listen, I agree with the point. I think if I was to
Zach Kleiman would never call me and ask for my opinion on this stuff, but on the off chance that he did, I would say, are you nuts? You can't give them that contract. What are you doing?
I mean, the other side of the argument is you don't, in small markets, it's the price of doing business. You got to pay your generational talent. But listen, I agree.
But he had multiple years left.
That's right.
Multiple years. And you could, there's plenty of length on this contract.
Yep.
No urgency to get it done. It is true that there is a price of doing business in a small market, but there's no urgency this past offseason in the John Morant business. And any reasonable person would say, you don't have to give him this money right now. Let's see if he can play 65 games. Let's just start there. Before we think about investing more years and more hundreds of millions of dollars, let's see if he can play 65 games. Let's see if he can be a good leader. Let's see if he can be a good teammate. Let's see if he can improve his shot. Let's see if he can not lose a step. Let's see if all these things. That is what any reasonable person would say. And so I guess if the question is, but GP, you've also got to know he wants the money. He wants the extension. And if you got to know who you're dealing with, if you don't give it to him, then this was always what you were going to get. It was always going to blow up on you. I guess if that's the question, if the question is so like, didn't you maybe have to do it just to avoid this? Here's what I would say. You've already given him big contracts. He's already got all the money in the world. And he's mostly been disruptive or unavailable. So, like, give this person this thing that he wants, not because you think it's smart, not because you think he deserves it, not because you think it's going to age well, but because it's finally going to be the thing that makes him happy. Come on, man. He'd find something else. He'd get all the money and then find something else, all right?
No, I mean, listen, I completely agree. Like, they didn't have to, and I understand why they didn't. Because even, like, when Zach Kleiman did his media availability at the end of last season, like he said, it's an important season.
Preseason, he said this is an important season for Ja Morant. And what that translates to is if he wants to get the big contract,
he's got to play.
We got to see it before we just blindly throw more money and more years at him. That was the subtext. What we thought at the time was Ja's cool and open to that. He seemed to suggest that he was. But now most of the reporting is that he wasn't. It was bubbling from the jump. It was a thing from the beginning. And I don't know. If this was the way it was going to have to go down if you didn't give him the money, then this is just the way it was going to have to go down. You know, to me, like
I don't know how it's going to go down.
I mean, I don't have any idea.
Yeah, it's all over the place right now.
Yeah, I mean, there are still people who are like, never say never. I don't know. I'm like just tired of thinking about it. I'm like ready. You ever hear about the psychological torture? I don't know. I have no idea why I was reading about this one time, but it was like, if you point a gun at somebody, like you tie them in a chair, you just hold a gun on them and you say, I'm going to pull this trigger at some point, but I don't know when. And you sit here like this.
Oh, like the deer hunter?
Like this, and you're just constantly, yes. Eventually, you know what that person will say? Just pull the trigger, man. Just get this over with. I'm tired of thinking about it. That's about where I'm at now. I'm tired of thinking about it. I'm tired of trying to make sense of it. I'm trying to figure out why you act this way in the morning and this way at nighttime. I'm tired of wondering if, like, I'm tired of my kids asking me for years consistently, is so-and-so playing? What's going on with so-and-so? It's just like, pull the trigger, man. I'm open to anything. I have been on record. The absolute best thing for Ja Morant is to get it right with the Memphis Grizzlies. And the absolute best thing for the Memphis Grizzlies is for Ja Morant to get it right with them. That is still the best thing if that's possible. I don't know that it is. Lots of people seem to think it's not. But if it were a way, if you think of this as a marriage, and I know, buddy, everybody's done lawyered up and the paperwork is ready and all you got to do is go down to the attorney's offices and sign it and we're done with this thing, right? Like, it feels like that's where we are. Like, we're that close to the thing being done. If there's a way to get in marriage counseling today and fix it and make it better for the next 10 years, man, I'm for that. That is what I'm for. I just don't know that's possible. It hadn't felt possible in a while. So I'm not optimistic, but I would be open to that. I want what's best for the Memphis Grizzlies, period. And the best thing for the Memphis Grizzlies has always been, or for a while been, having an awesome and healthy and happy Ja Morant. That the best version of anything we ever thought about here included that. But we ain't had that in a long time. But if that were possible, that's what I want. I'm not the guy screaming, get it done yesterday. If it's possible to salvage it, I would love for it to be salvaged, but I'm not optimistic.
And it doesn't sound like that, I was clearly worried about this. I said it to you yesterday. It sounds like they are not just going to take, salary dumps and all that.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds like they're just not going to take back bad contracts just because we got to move on and we got to move on fast. Like, it sounds like they are going to wait out a reasonable deal for him if there's one to be had. So that'll be interesting.
Which I completely agree with. If
I do too.
And then we'll get Jess in here. But if my options as the Memphis Grizzlies were, man, nobody really wants to give us anything for Ja Morant. And the best thing we've got is a salary match from the Miami Heat. There is just no scenario where I'm doing that. Sincerely, I would figure out within the CBA guidelines legal way to suspend him for conduct detrimental to the franchise and just say, buddy, go sit out in Eads or wherever, and we'll figure it out in the offseason. But I am not sending you to where I'm told you want to go with a suppressed market created by you. You're not going to win this.
Yeah.
Like I said yesterday, maybe I'd get way too petty. But like Vernon said yesterday, how on earth would you send him to Miami and then watch him go down there and have a press conference where he talks about it's so nice to be at an organization with a strong culture and a great general manager and a future Hall of Fame coach? Like you don't put your fan base through that, I don't think. You don't want to see Ja Morant go to a place where it looks like he's better off without you. And I would really, now this is all on a scale where at some point you got to do what's best for the franchise. I get it. But if the Miami Heat are offering just that, and there's really not much more they can offer, they don't have the stuff that the Grizzlies say they want, really. I'm just not doing it. I would just keep it. I swear I would keep him through the trade deadline and just separate him. If he's going to be disruptive, just separate him from the team. And we'll deal with this in the trade deadline. But I would make it clear to the entire NBA, if the best you got for this guy is salary matches and other stuff we don't really care about, we will just keep him. We're not obligated to move him because he wants to be moved or because this thing has gotten crazy. And then that could also serve as a reminder, hopefully, or a wake-up call for Ja Morant. Hey, buddy, you are great at selling shoes, and kids all over the world love you. But general managers don't. Kids love you, but general managers don't seem to right now. So what are we going to do about this? I wish we'd have never got here. Here's where we are. We got another game on Sunday. 11 o'clock.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. As all the commissioners said, he hopes he plays. So we'll see.
I mean,
this is day to day, man. This is a day to day thing.
I won't make any predictions.
Okay.
I don't even have the energy to make any predictions. The whole thing's exhausting. Jessica Benson's in studio next.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis. Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit Grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at Grizzlies.com/Saturday.
Do you feel like you have had a matchup or an opponent or a moment where you're like, oh, I'm in the NBA now.
When we played the Warriors and Steph on the left wing hit like a step back three, like right in my face. Like, I remember watching this on TV and I'm the one getting scored on.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio, and on Fridays in the second segment, I'm joined by Jessica Benson, host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, weekdays 8 a.m. Look at you, you're here right here. How are you?
I'm right here.
You are right here.
What a week.
What a
year.
week. What a year it's been so far, man. It's always something, isn't it?
It feels that way.
It's always something, isn't it?
It feels that way.
So I was talking earlier.
Okay.
Because that's the job.
That is the
and Bennett,
contrary to popular belief.
And Bennett
is the job.
And Bennett was staring at me because that's his job.
Okay.
Like, we all have jobs around here. My job is to talk, and Bennett's job is to stare at me and act like he cares about anything I'm saying.
He's like one of Bennett's
while
jobs.
I'm talking. Yeah, that's one of them.
He's very multifaceted.
Like maybe the most multifaceted. Like here's the truth. If you want to know the truth, if I disappeared, this place would still run fine.
Bennett disappears?
Bennett disappears, you got real problems.
Disagree.
Bennett disappears, you got.
Disagree.
I can't even turn the lights on. If you go watch the Ion College basketball podcast that was done this morning, this GCM thing that we never light up because it's too bright.
I was
and
wondering
crazy.
why you turned that on.
I didn't turn it on. This is my point. It was on.
Oh.
It was on, and I had no idea how to turn it off. So
I like that sign. I've never really noticed it.
There's a little switch right there. It says GCM neon.
Oh yeah,
I love a neon.
Okay, so
I love a neon sign.
So not only did I not know how to turn this off,
You didn't know how to turn the lights on.
I didn't even know that button that Bennett is just pointing at existed. I didn't even know that was there. The only thing I know is that I know all the state capitals are right behind Bennett, but that's as far as that's all I know. So if I disappear, it really wouldn't matter that much.
But you do know
That's
your
probably not the
capitals.
smartest thing to say into a microphone, right? In terms of creating
Yeah, that
value and
sounds
stuff.
bad.
If I disappeared, this place probably wouldn't exist the next day.
Yeah, that's what you want to say.
But Bennett, that's the real value one around here,
At
I
least
think.
you know. It's good that you know.
I do know.
You recognize.
I do recognize. So my job is to talk.
Okay, so what were you talking?
And his job is he's got a lot of jobs.
What was he listening?
His job is to mostly do this.
Mm-hmm. And look compelled.
Yeah.
Compelled.
Look compelled. He's like, he's supposed to be
Compelled.
like, yeah, man, I definitely wanted to hear about the time you were a beat writer for John Calipari for the 7,000th time. Yeah, man, tell that story again.
Bennett's real job is to pretend
Tell me
like
more
he's
about when
hearing
you
a
met
story
Dave
the first
Chappelle
time.
on the street.
I did have this thought because like don't think I'm not aware of this exact thing. It's why it makes it so funny to me. On one hand, as I start to go down this, anytime I just sort of stumble into a story, on one hand I go, man, I got a whole new audience here, and I bet I haven't told that story in years. And I there's like.
But you want to know who heard it years ago? Bennett.
But Bennett has heard this bitch 8 times.
Every time.
But I'll act like it's the first time.
Bennett has heard every one of these stories.
Tell me more.
14 times.
Tell me more.
So I know there's somebody in the chat, and they're like, man, GP, that's an amazing story.
And there's someone else who's like,
And there's somebody like, I
God,
have
I've
heard
heard
this
this
40
story
times.
so many
and
times.
the thing that helped me become more aware of it, like, yo, you don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's not even that great of a story. It's like I catch Vernon all the time. Vernon does it. Vernon will be like, I don't know, but there was this one time I was like, buddy, I could tell this story for you. I know this story. I could tell it for you. I've heard it so many times. So I guess we all do it, but I recognize that I do it. But part of Bennett's job is to look like he's never heard it before.
He's a good sport.
Bennett's job,
He's a good teammate.
Bennett's job is to be like, hold up, you were at a wedding with Joaquin Phoenix?
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
I've heard that one.
That's I think everybody's heard that one 70 times. All right. So anyway, I was talking earlier. That's my job. Bennett was looking at me. That's his job. And sometimes I can tell when he's looking at me in silent agreement, and sometimes I can tell when he's thinking, I don't know if you're right on this one, GP. And I sense that in his little bored eyes. And so
he's got his tell.
So he's got a tell. I can see it in his little bored eyes. And I said, okay, Bennett, am I wrong here? And he said, you might be. So now I want to ask you.
Now I wish that I was listening so I had a heads up for what you're about to ask, but I'm ready.
Oh, you don't even have to hear. I was going to repeat it anyway, as always.
I knew you would.
Hey, whatever I said earlier, I was going to say it again.
I did listen to the first 15 minutes, but then I was rushing back because I thought you were wrapping up. I thought I could make it to go feed some cats between my show and your show, and then I thought you were going to end. And then you went another 10 minutes, and I was like, man, I could have spent some more time with the cats.
There's always a Joaquin Phoenix story to tell,
Okay,
So here's what I was saying. I said, it feels like we as a community now have settled on the idea, because Ja hasn't spoken on any of this stuff in any sort of detail, in any sort of meaningful way. So if the question is why is Ja Morant so mad all the time? He hasn't, in his own words, really told us. It's just, Insta stories and whatever. But it appears that we have now settled on the idea that here's the problem, and it's the problem that's always the problem. He was eligible for an extension. He watched him give Desmond Bane a bunch of money. He watched him give Jaren Jackson a bunch of money. They could have extended him, given him lots more money, and they decided to obviously take a wait-and-see approach. And that hurt his feelings, as it sometimes does. And the truth is, he had to blow up with the first-year coach, and that it was something, but mostly this has all just been bubbling from the offseason. He was never happy because he was disappointed, because he felt like if you can give me all of this stuff and I'm supposed to be the face of the franchise, you should be giving it to me the first second that you can. So for the sake of the conversation, let's say that at least some of that, the sentiment is true. What I said to Bennett was, if the Grizzlies would have done what people think Ja Morant wanted them to do, which is max him out and extend him the first second that they could last offseason, everybody who hosted NBA podcasts, Malika Andrews and Kendrick Perkins on TV, everybody whose job it is to discuss the world of the NBA, and it might not have been everybody, but it would have been the overwhelming majority. They would have jumped on TV, jumped in front of their little cameras, and they would have said, what are the Grizzlies doing? How do you give more years and this much money to a guy who has played 30% of the games over the past 3 years? It would have been wildly criticized as reckless. Am I wrong?
You want to know what's so funny? When I turned off the show, when I was scrambling to get back up here because I thought that I was going to be late, that's the point you started with,
right.
And then you went another 10 minutes.
I possess.
So I actually heard you have that conversation.
I possess that ability.
20 minutes ago. It's incredible.
I
You say people wouldn't notice you're gone.
Oh,
man, that's a skill right
buddy,
there.
if you ever need a 4-minute point to be stretched into 14,
you've got it.
I can do it.
You've got it.
They really do. They really do plan. They really do
is-
plan TV segments around that.
Of course.
If you ever notice, a lot of times like halftime shows or post game shows, round of comments. So like Brent Stover, Adam Zucker, and they go so Kentucky wins at the buzzer over LSU. They'll go to Roy Hibbert, and then they'll go to Wally Zerb. They usually come to me last because
you can either go as long as needed or as short as needed.
If you need 20 seconds, I can hit 20. But if you need 220 for some reason, I can get you to 220 too. I possess that ability.
So your statement that you thought Bennett was giving quizzical eyes to with his tells is the idea that other people around the NBA would have scoffed at the Grizzlies giving Ja
if you would have done
this offseason.
AI overview. What is the reaction to the Grizzlies maxing out Ja Morant today for extra years, all this money? What's the general reaction from NBA podcasters and analysts?
Well, as they're learning on the pit right now, as they incorporate AI into the storyline this year, AI can be a great tool, but you should always double check your work and allow for nuance.
Okay, then forget AI. I'm just trying to make a point here.
My point is, the AI overview probably would further your point. Here's my
opinion. Let me be clear about my opinion. Here's my opinion. If the Grizzlies would have done that contract for Ja Morant last offseason, the overwhelming majority of people who make a living discussing the NBA would have said, what are the Grizzlies doing? Why would you do this? You don't have to do it now, and you shouldn't do it for a player. Take all the off-the-court stuff over here.
Simply the availability of it all.
Yeah, I mean, but the off-the-court stuff matters too.
Right, but if we're stripping it straight to this player has been available X amount of games.
There is no reason for you. It is not urgent. There is no reason for you to do it now, and doing it now is reckless given how unavailable he has been. I submit that would have been the most common reaction overwhelmingly and evidence why you don't do that deal. And if this is just the way it was going to have to unfold, then this is just going to have to be the way it was going to unfold, because if the only thing I could have done to make this guy happy is give him all that money and all those years while he's 3 years barely playing, I'm not doing that. A, because I think it's reckless. B, because you want to know the truth, probably ain't going to make him happy anyway. We probably going to be dealing with the same stuff you've been dealing with the whole time anyway. So I do not agree with every decision the front office has made. You know, I don't think anybody would. And they get more right than they get wrong, but nobody's perfect, all right? But I agree with this one. I agree with this for sure. I would not have given him that contract.
Yeah, I think it would have been... It adds the layer of how the Grizzlies get talked about from a national conversation anyway. And so I think you're correct in the broad takeaway. I don't think it would have been discussed extensively, which is a testament to, I think...
What would you have said about it? You wake up and you see a tweet from Chris Harrington that says, hey, Ja Morant is extension eligible today. And then you read a tweet from Shams that says the Grizzlies have just secured Ja Morant. It's a max extension, max money, max years. Jessica Benson, you got a show to do. What would your opinion been in that moment?
I would have probably said, I understand why the national reaction is the way that it is, but let me tell you why in Memphis, the importance of Ja Morant and making sure he understands his place within the ecosystem of this team supersedes perhaps the strictly business-related lens that others will view this from. And even though Ja has been unavailable and this team has not been able to rely on him being on the court as the starting point guard to lead them to a place where they are competing not just for a spot in the postseason, but making a general push at the West, this is why he is so important to the city. You can frame it in that way, certainly. But I understand why they didn't. It's easy to sit here today, too, and add the extra layer onto all of it. But when that conversation, Chris Harrington had a piece in the Daily Memphian of the options. Right. And I remember reading through all of between the paying Jaren and what does it mean for Ja. And we operate so constantly in the now. And this was something that had the time to have some patience behind it. But you have to understand the emotions that get tied to it. And if somebody feels slighted, and I can understand why he would feel slighted, too.
I understand.
100%.
I understand all of the feelings.
Right.
I understand all of the feelings.
We are all complicated creatures with egos and ideas and how we take certain things happen, how we perceive things to be happening to us.
Well, this happens in our industry.
Yeah.
You're working for a network or you're working for wherever, and you're like, man, I got a new contract done, and you love your contract. You're excited. You're happy to have the job, and you can't believe you're making what you're making, and you never dreamed of any of this stuff. And then it's like, hey, did you hear so-and-so got a new contract? And it's like, oh, really? Good for them. It's like, yeah, it's X years, X money. And you're like, interesting. That happens in our industry every day. Every day.
But I will also say that people get contracts that make, in all industries, that make people raise their eyebrows. And you'll be like, well, I guess it just made sense for them. So it made sense for the nature of that business to make that decision.
I understand that. I get your point.
Yeah.
If somebody said, GP, it's you're the final vote on this, do it or not, I would have said no. And if they would have said, but let me explain, and this was the explanation, when they were done, I would say, I get that. If the explanation were this, GP, like, obviously we don't want to do this right now. We don't have to do it right now. We don't want to do it right now. We understand all of the risk. But I've listened to your show. I have heard you say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've heard you say the best future with the Memphis Grizzlies that theoretically exist is a future with Ja Morant. A happy and healthy and awesome Ja Morant. That's what we're all shooting for. You've said that, right, GP? Yeah, I've said that. Okay. This is the only one. We have to do this to even have a shot at that, because I'm telling you what happens if we don't do this. Right. He's pissed, and it's going to blow up. So we don't want to do this, but we feel like we have to do it just to have a shot to roll the dice. Because if we don't do it, we don't even have dice to roll. We crap it out. You understand the analogy. We have to do this not because we want to, but because this will blow up on us if we don't. I would listen to that. You know what I'd say? I get all of that.
And I still wouldn't have done
That's right. And I would say, then you know
and
what?
I
Then maybe it's time.
understand.
If Ja Morant at 26 years old or whatever can't understand why a $1 billion company that has stood by him through everything is hesitant to max him out again at a time when
then it's never going to it's reached a point where
right.
it's always, if it's not this, it's the next.
It's right.
Yeah.
If he can't understand why a $1 billion franchise would be hesitant to max him out again under these very specific set of circumstances, the set of circumstances being you haven't played much in a while, you haven't been great consistently in a while, and you still kind of been a headache here and there. If he can't understand why that franchise would be hesitant to put all that on the table right then, you were always going to have problems with him. Always, because that should be the most normal thing. Everybody else understands it. Everybody else understands it. And I understand when it's you, the emotions are different. I get all of it. But that's where I would have landed. I would have said, I understand why you think you might need to do it to avoid the disaster. But if you are convinced not doing this now is going to lead to him becoming a problem for you, then he is always going to be a problem for you for one reason or another, and it might be time to just get out of the Ja Morant business. That's what I would have said.
And that's...
It's sad. It sucks.
A depressing thing to grapple with. But
it sucks.
Again,
Like,
it's all different angles of this.
Keep talking.
Well, I think in terms of the it sucks, it's depressing, it doesn't feel good, all of this was exemplified by this specific matchup being this week.
Yeah.
Like, because then you have to put on the nostalgia greatest hits and think back to, well, remember when Desmond Bain was here and it was Ja and Dez and Jaren?
Oh,
they don't ask about last year.
Right.
They don't ask about the year when everyone was injured. They go back to the sweet spot. So you're seeing videos of a really fun time that was not that far back. And you're hearing someone reflect on a place where he's still calling it home. And so that hurts. And even when I was listening to talk about the Anthony Black dunk and the idea of like Ja was the one having those highlights. Right. And so you're just smacked in the face constantly of, man, remember when this was fun?
Right.
I want to get back to the fun. And that's where I understand the angle of the people who don't want to let go yet, like want to keep chasing that and the excitement of what that was and what that meant for the city. And then you couple that with like the reality of what it is and understand that 2026 is a different year than 2022. And all of these pieces have moved to the places where they are right now. And that's hard too.
Yeah. Kyra, I sent you.
Maybe just get into the business side of it. I understand breaking it down.
I think I'm done mostly trying to tell Grizzlies fans how to feel. I don't think people like being told how to feel.
No, because I think this is such a perfect representation of people in this city feeling exceptionally different than the person next to them, maybe. Like, I have heard the highest of high takes and the lowest of low takes from many people. More people have come up to me in the last week and a half wanting to talk about this on both sides, on the Grizzlies simply cannot let Ja Morant get away, and the I'm so sick of this and I am so fatigued, please make this end, and wish him well and wherever he ends up, but right now I'm kind of mad at him. I've had those conversations with multiple people out and
I'm
about.
at the airport in New York and somebody wants to talk about it.
My friend just texted me, who doesn't even follow basketball. It's funny. She's in London for work. And she goes, why are there Memphis Grizzlies posters up all over the city? And I said, oh, because they're blank. She goes, yeah, I figured that out. She goes, funny enough, I ended up in this conversation. I didn't realize John Morant was going to get traded. And she doesn't know. And it's a long story, and it's too long for a text as you're in the midst of this work. And she was like, yeah, I was just listening to people talk about your team for 20 minutes. It was crazy. So, people all over are talking about it. And people really do feel passionately in different directions.
Oh, that's the thing. People,
you can't tell someone, this is how you should feel about it.
People are fired up about it, and fired up about it in dramatically different ways. There are people who are yelling, and I assume they mean it, you should never move on from John Morant no matter what. And then there are people yelling, and I assume they mean it, I'm ready, so ready for this to be done. I'm not interested in telling people how to feel, but I will say that thing that you're chasing, if that you are chasing something, it hasn't been a real thing in a long time, not in any sort of meaningful way.
Concrete way.
And
results-driven way.
Yeah, and perhaps there are other issues within the franchise that have to be addressed at some point.
You want to know what someone said to me after having just that conversation? As I try to be rational therapist to all and take in and not tell someone how to feel, but just analyze how they're feeling. They go, I just watched him drop 40 at FedEx Forum.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
but
but at the end of the day, that was an anomaly in this season. It was great. I'm not trying to take away. I thought from a standpoint of putting on tape what he is still capable of from a player standpoint in a vacuum of one game, just being so antithetical to how people talk about him. It was a great game. Couldn't have asked for more. I'd love 10 of them. I'd really love 10 of them.
Right. And then the other thing is there is no happy forever with John Morant if he can't meet you in the middle, for lack of a better phrase. And he doesn't seem willing to do that. And so it is what it is. But on your point of people remember the good times and they weren't that long ago, and this week it's all come back. Yesterday I get home, I fly home, Uber to the house, and we're having I don't think we planned to have bathroom remodeling, but apparently we're going through it now.
Oh, congrats.
That's the wrong word. That's the wrong word. But anyway, our bathroom is it's chopped up pretty good right now. So I'm like, all right, where do I shower around here these days? And so I decided to go in my little guy's bathroom. And I just never go in this bathroom. He could be hiding, 40 kilos of cocaine in there. I just wouldn't even know.
Did you not even watch Adolescence? Keep an eye on your kids, man.
For sure. I do keep an eye on my kids. I don't use his bathroom.
Okay.
All right? And
that's fair.
Frankly, he doesn't even use his bathroom. He uses our bathroom. And so
that's how I operated when I was a kid.
Everybody uses our bathroom. Nobody actually uses their own bathroom in our house, except for me and Kelly. But the other guy, they just... Anyway, you don't need a
bathroom's remodeled. Child.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, where else do we have a shower in this place? And so I go in my little guy's bathroom, and Kyra, throw it up. This is on the wall in his little bathroom, and I.
Oh God.
And I said, ouch! It just hurt.
Can we talk about Desmond Bane's arms in that carpet? That's wild.
He's a strong man.
He is.
They're short and strong, and then look at Ja flying, and there's Steven Adams down there, and
someone posted the All-Star Game picture. No, not the All-Star Game. Someone did post that when Jaren and Ja were in the Rising Stars, and there's the Ja dunk, and Jaren's behind him, hyping him up. Yeah. But someone posted, I think it was from last year. It was one of the Called 12 moments where Ja's holding his jersey out. And Jaren's in the
Miami.
back. In Miami, yes. It was the pigeon game. Which is...
Still fun, hilarious.
And if that were to transpire in a world of the rumors and reports, something that'll have to be addressed internally, I would assume. So funny. But I don't know, it just brought me both great joy and sadness. So watching Desmond Bane hug all those dudes at the end of the game, I was like, oh, this hurts. Yeah. This is where sports.
I just like to go back to that.
Stinks.
I just like to go back to that.
Yeah, that poster was fun. I have so many T-shirts with all these guys on. And this is why they say never buy a T-shirt with another man's face on it. Because
do they say that?
Someone said that to me once, and I've never forgotten it. I thought it was so weird. So by they, I mean one single person said that to me once.
I have plenty of shirts with a man's face on it.
Oh, we're in a new era though, but like that used to be something that you would worry about, but now we're in this era of like people wanting to have unique jerseys, and so it doesn't matter. Like if you buy a jersey of someone and they're not on the team, like
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because people want to have unique jerseys.
Because I've got some great good hippie shirts.
Yeah,
I have a hoodie that looks biblical of Ja Morant.
Yeah.
I have that one with the stained glass.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I allowed to wear? Like,
I don't know, man.
Am I allowed to wear that?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I know.
I mean,
but it really does add this layer to it. I told my husband last night, like, I'm exhausted.
Like, are we? That's the
like,
thing.
I'm exhausted.
Like, I want to be clear. I don't like. I don't ever want to have it be misconstrued. Although I'm certain it will be, no matter what. I've been doing this long enough to know your words will be misconstrued.
Yes.
No matter how clearly you say them.
Okay.
But if I could snap my fingers and have anything I wanted, what I would want is Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies to be awesome together forever until the day he retires.
Preach.
That's what I want.
Add a +1 for me.
That's what I want. I am at a point that I don't believe that is possible. Certainly, it seems wildly unlikely.
I know, and then but I'll ask you this. You can rationally think it's not possible, and I agree. Over the last 7 days, I've gone through the various stages of grief, and also the bargaining of, well, maybe that window was left cracked open. Yeah. Maybe that window could be open. Then the press conference happens, and I'm like, oh, that window is shut.
Right.
And then yesterday happens, and listen. We are in the business of talking because it's our job, and I'm very grateful for that job. But you never know why somebody acts the way they do. People are, again, complicated. And I do see a sense of, like, Ja has loved his teammates. His teammates have loved him at various times of them talking about one another. And so I'm sure there's genuine excitement. But then that drives it right back. So many people who closed the door after the press conference are then looking at the reactions of yesterday, especially, like, right off the jump. And like I had a friend text me during the game and said, do you think this means there's still a chance?
Like,
and I said, I can't do this anymore.
That's where I'm at on this. Like, if I could snap my fingers and have what I want, what I want is happy and healthy and awesome Ja Morant leading the Grizzlies until the day he retires. That's what I always wanted. I don't know that that's possible anymore. Tim Bontemps seems to think it's not.
Okay, Tim.
Nobody is more down on that relationship than Tim Bontemps.
Tim McMahon.
Tim McMahon, maybe.
Tim McMahon.
Every time I see
Tims, man.
Every time I see a clip of Tim Bontemps, he's like, they're going to kill each other.
So true. This is the most toxic thing going on in sports right now.
You are on the verge of something terrible happening down there. It's just like, Jesus. Like, they really? Like, what? Really? Is that bad?
Man, are you looking at the rest of this country right now? Because I can find some way worse stuff going down.
It's that bad? So I don't think it's possible because Tim Bontemps doesn't think it's possible. All right? If only because Tim Bontemps doesn't think it's possible, I'm skeptical that it's possible. So given that, here's where I'm at. I'm exhausted. I'm tired of this. And I do not guarantee you that the Grizzlies will be better off without Ja Morant. How could anybody say such a thing? But here's what I believe. If we do get to a place where the trigger is pulled and it's just over, you will look up in a few weeks and it'll be lighter. The whole thing will be lighter. It might be less successful and headed for the lottery, but everything will lighten up a little bit. It's been heavy around here for a while. I don't know what it's like to be a fan necessarily. I mean, I do. But like Grizzlies fans have had to wake up with rare exceptions for 3 years straight. And if your favorite team has a game, the first question is like, is my favorite player playing? And then it's like, what kind of mood's he been in lately? And then it's like, well, is he still shooting 20%? It's just like, ugh. I'm tired of it. I'm like, it wears you out.
The last 10, I'm a pretty positive. I like to think I trend positive.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that I trend like practical too. Like I try to stay pretty even keel on things. The last 10 days have driven me to a point where last night I fell asleep on my couch and my husband was afraid to move me because he said, you seem the most depressed you've been about this team in a long time.
Yes,
and it's our again, it's our job too, and
that's
part of it. I'm not trying to run from that, but it is a constant. We do talk about it every day, and I'm grateful to have a voice to be able to talk about it every day. but it does make the drama of it and the ups and downs and the all arounds. We're riding it. We're riding every stop on that roller coaster. And it's been a really heavy 10 days.
It's heavy and it's exhausting. And that is what I would ask. The Grizzlies fans who are in the camp of, you can't do this no matter what. No way, no way, no way. Again, I'm not trying to tell you how to feel, but I would ask you a question. Are you having fun?
Right.
When's the last time you had fun?
Well, and the biggest answer to are you having fun as a sports fan is your team winning?
Yeah.
And I know that Jaw's not the only reason. Like,
No.
the injuries for this team for the last 3 years
He's the biggest reason.
have been diabolical.
But he's the biggest of those reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's the name that most people, if you are making a trip around one person to go see a Grizzlies game, the majority of those people are going to see Ja Morant. That said, I think I was reading, it must have been Drew's because he's there. And DeMichael Cole's not there, which is insane for the commercial appeal. Yeah. But he was talking to fans.
It's the same commercial appeal, not to bang on them. That's my former employer.
Sure.
But like, they just don't care over there anymore.
It's just local news in general.
It's just, well, I mean,
if I worked at, none of the local TV stations are there.
You ever see their
Years ago,
you ever see their
someone would have
Twitter
been sent
account?
there.
Like, I don't ever know what's going on with their Twitter account.
Oh, I don't know either.
I mean, the Grizzlies will play the Suns last night, and then like today at noon, suddenly the commercial appeal's tweeting, Cedric Calvert had 11 points at the half of against the Phoenix Suns. It's like commercial appeal. This was yesterday. It's all obviously some automated thing, but it is also evidence that they don't care that much.
Let me be clear, just like we are clear that the best option, the number one thing I would be rooting for would be a perfect rainbows all over the place. The sun is shining, like the sky's glittering. It's so exciting that like Ja and the Grizzlies are working in tandem and chasing championships in Memphis. I want all local news in this city to be littered with money and promise.
That'd be nice.
And years
Wouldn't
of
that be nice?
journalistic experience and care. But it's not happening. And it's not just here. That's something that's happening everywhere. What was my point? Drew talked to some fan who was there who came specifically to watch Ja.
To drill down on this for a second, then we'll continue that. Like, I don't know if anybody at the commercial appeal cares about anything I say, but like, you put your very talented, awesome beat writer at a disadvantage when you don't allow him to be with this team every day the way I know they're friends, but also competitors on some level.
Yes.
Like Drew he's gaining things, not just from watching basketball games, but just by being in hotel lobbies, just being around. That's how you create relationships as a beat writer. And I'm a former commercial appeal beat writer, and I didn't miss a trip anywhere.
Right.
I went if Memphis was playing Southern Miss, I was in Hattiesburg. If Memphis was playing Villanova, I was in Philadelphia. If Memphis was playing, taking a preseason trip to Cancun, I was in Cancun. And a lot's changed since then.
When I first started here, for every Grizzlies game, I won't even take it to Cancun. I won't even take it to London. Local news stations, there are 4 of them: NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC. That meant there were 4 cameras for every single pregame press conference and postgame press conference. And after Jeff Woods retired at WRAG this year, because he was the last man standing, so we had one still for a long time, they don't get it anymore. They don't need it. And I understand, what's the value of a pregame press conference? But I see people all the time say, where can I find video of the pregame press conference or this availability? And local news used to always have somebody there with a camera. And I know this is the TV side versus the written side, but the fact that DeMichael's not there from a print standpoint, print and digital, and I'd be shocked if someone from one of the local TV stations went. But in the old days, they would have.
Sure.
Like, it would have been budgeted into the plans for the year. We are not missing the Grizzlies playing in London and all that means, and Berlin. And then also, you would have naturally been there to cover what has turned into the biggest story around the team this year. Those two things just happen to intersect with one another. And so if you're not there, you are missing genuine opportunities to report. Anyway, sorry. Nobody ever cares about the business of journalism.
No, but I do feel compelled to, stick up in whatever way I can for somebody who's trying to do his job as well as he can and is disadvantaged because one local newspaper is willing to spend the money to send their guy and the other one isn't. Like, that stinks. And I know DeMichael can't be the one popping off about this, right?
No. So we all have to pop off for him.
So we pop off for him.
I hope he hears it.
I inherit the beef for him.
Anyway, the point was that Drew talked to some fan who said that he came for Ja, And I think one of the purposes was to try to gauge, like, okay, so these fans, will they stay Grizzlies fans, especially these abroad fans, or will they move to whatever team Jive he's traded goes to? And the one guy said, I think I'll stay a Grizzlies fan. They have fun guys, like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Cedric Howard and Zach Edey, and that's exactly what you want. And it is a reminder that all of sports are cyclical, and the page will always turn, if not today, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. And at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters in terms of generating consistent excitement is winning.
Right.
Winning makes you happy.
Right.
The Magic won that game yesterday, and they got to sing their silly little song in front of all the fans in Berlin, but they had fun with it.
Right. Yeah.
That's why you won't ever catch me dogging, and this was a whole thing here. When you're having fun, live it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I don't care if you're not winning a championship.
Right.
If you are experiencing one of the most wonderful things, in my opinion, in this world, which is fun times with your team, go for it.
That's right.
Because you don't know how long it's going to last.
That's right. And it hasn't been fun for a while. It was fun at the time that picture in my little guy's bathroom was produced, but it hasn't been fun in a while. And but it will be again. I do trust that. And, you know, sometimes I think people, particularly younger sports fans, like you get caught up like, this is my guy and this is my favorite player and he's always been my favorite player. Like, you know, like once upon a time, Darryl Strawberry was my favorite player and Doc Gooden was my favorite player. And then
I was going to marry Derek Jeter, and now I don't even watch baseball anymore.
But then, like, here's my point. Then Mike Piazza becomes my favorite player.
Yeah.
Right? And then Jacob deGrom becomes my favorite player. You know, my middle guy's favorite player was Pete Alonso. He was upset about, like, he's like my middle guy might lose Pete Alonso and John Morant in the same, like, couple of months, you know? Like it's
again, you got to keep an eye on him.
I'm going to keep an eye on him. I got an eye on him.
It's been a tough year.
It has been a tough year. You don't even know.
You don't even know.
You don't even know the half of it. So I understand, like, John Morant's my favorite player.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose my favorite player. I get that. I'm not telling you how to feel, but I would ask you, like, when's the last time you felt like you were having fun following this basketball team?
I'd say following. Because you can find individual.
You can have fun watching.
Yes.
Follow. And when's the last time?
Because I would say the first quarter of yesterday was the last time I had fun watching.
Right. It hasn't been fun for a while, and I know it doesn't feel like it. And you never know how these things are going to go. But if the Grizzlies do move on, and then end up in the lottery, and then get lucky, and then get Darren Peterson, trust me, you'll have a new favorite player very, very quickly. And we will all look back on all of this and go, man, that was not fun to go through, but now look. And
he'll always matter. Oh, and you just looked at me the way you think Bennett looked at you. The man has one of the most popular shoes of, I mean, from like a general standpoint, he will always matter, especially to young people who grew up during the Ja Morant era in Memphis.
I believe that's true. Then we'll get you out of here, and I apologize.
It's okay. You're actually helping me out because I got to go do the dogs, but I'm also trying to catch a 12:30 movie. So I don't want too much time because I want to be able to go straight from the dogs to the movie.
I don't want you to talk for another 5 minutes because that'll back you up another 5 minutes. But I am interested in what are you going to see?
I'm going to go see The Chronology of Water.
Okay.
It's Kristen Stewart's directorial debut.
Okay.
It's based on a memoir that I actually just finished.
All right.
It's depressing. Yeah. The woman experience.
Well, well, that's certainly.
But anyway, so it's going to be. I'm moody.
Seems like an appropriate way to spend a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I'm feeling very moody,
okay.
And so I decided the best way to handle that is to not sit online and read.
Go get a dark theater.
8,000 more things about.
Go get a dark theater with a glass of wine.
That's the plan. At noon. Doesn't that sound good?
It sounds great. It sounds amazing.
I'm like, I just got to get through Gary's show, get through these dogs.
I'm surprised Bennett not trying to go with you.
He
has his own movie
I want
that
to
he
go
wants
see
to
28 days or 28 years later, The Blood Temple.
I always have to find
Temple,
movies that like my husband gets really, really mad when I watch things without him.
Right.
Like I binged all of His and Hers, which was incredibly average. I told it's fine. It's fine that you missed that.
Okay.
But when especially this time of year, like awards movies, we'll watch the Golden Globes and I'll be like, oh yeah, that was really good. He's like, you watched that without me?
You've already seen it?
You watched that without me?
Yeah.
You watched this without me? So I try to be really intentional on what I see without him. And when I read this book, I thought to myself, I don't think this is for him. It's going to be 2 hours of trauma.
Yeah.
Of the, again, woman experience.
That's tough.
So anyway, I'll see it without
Speaking
him.
of I did finally watch. I don't think I ever told you this. Sorry, baby. I thought it was great.
I hated it.
I hate you.
Yeah, I hated it.
I thought it was great.
Sorry.
My husband didn't really like it. Another guy that I know didn't really like it. I love to hear you. You are now the anomaly. Every woman that I know who has seen it thinks that it was just like an exquisite depiction of sexual assault.
Yeah.
And every man that I know who's seen it, except for you, said, I thought that movie was kind of overrated.
Oh, no, I thought it was great.
The scene of the house,
Mm.
perfectly done.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, last thing.
Thanks for supporting cinema.
I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Bennett challenged me to get all the Best Picture nominees knocked out before the Academy Awards.
Yeah, we got to do that.
And he was skeptical that I would follow through.
Oh, you're on.
I'm behind.
But we don't know the nominees
Have you
yet.
seen Hamnet yet?
I haven't seen Hamnet yet. But I don't feel great about it yet. I'm not like
Hamnet? Your quest.
Yeah, my quest. I don't feel like I'm probably like plus 240 to complete my quest.
Wait, have you seen Marty Supreme?
Yes.
Okay, I figured.
Yes.
I thought so.
So here's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You are right. John Morant will matter here forever, regardless of what happens this week or next week or whatever. John Morant will matter here forever. He is going to be thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, but wherever the number, my kids. He will forever be my kids' first
favorite
basketball athlete.
Favorite celebrity.
Sure. Yeah, he's the first one. Like every time the Grizzlies come up, Ja is what they ask about. Hey guys, we're going to go to the game this weekend. Is Ja playing? It sucks that they have to ask that question, but that is they're conditioned to ask it. But he'll matter to them forever, the way Doc Gooden matters to me forever. Maybe one day they'll be out and about and they'll bump into John Morant the way one day I bumped into Dwight Gooden and I felt like I was 8 years old again. Like it really was something for me. And John Morant is going to be that person for a lot of people forever, no matter what happens going forward. The thing that is unclear is like, how are you going to remember him? What's the story going to be? Is it going to be an amazing story about a kid from here who went to Murray State and then got in the NBA and, it got bumpy for a minute.
The beginning part of that is still a very incredible story.
And then it got bumpy for a minute in his 20s, but buddy, he found his way, and I don't know what the story's going to be with him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he's going to he's going to make a lot of money, and he's going to sell a lot of shoes, and he's going to be very famous. Outside of that, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea where this stuff goes. But I was talking to my middle guy, the 12-year-old, yesterday. And we were talking through all this, and I said, so have you seen the latest? Did you see the press conference? And he said, yeah. And I said, so what do you think? He's your favorite player. What do you think? And he said, this is like a quote. This is what he said, 12 years old. He said, I didn't ever want the Grizzlies to not have Ja on the team, but if he was still on the team, he would probably just be hurt or get suspended. So I guess I understand. That's what he said. Like, no prompting. He didn't hear that from the Gary Parrish show. He didn't hear that from the Chris Vernon show. He didn't hear that from the Jessica Benson show. That's just him and his little 12-year-old friends, whatever they pick up on, wherever they pick up on it. And it made me kind of sad that that's the way he thinks about his favorite player, because we used to think about him, everybody used to think about him differently. Unfortunately, I think that's a pretty common opinion now.
Well, that's depressing.
Anyway, I hope your movie's great.
I think it's going to be depressing too. But when I'm sad, I want to feel sadder.
I'm like that
let's
too.
milk this.
Oh, buddy, I'm like that too.
I want to cry.
I want to get sad and listen to August and everything after.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what I really want to do this afternoon?
I want to get sad and listen to Sullivan Street.
I might go to 2 movies. Who knows?
I want to get real sad and listen to Bright Eyes.
Oh gosh.
Man, you ain't never been really sad unless you decided you need to spend the next hour with Connor Oberst. He'd put you through it back in the day.
It's true.
All right. Hey, I hope you have a good movie viewing experience. Hey, who could tell? Who could tell?
Grizzlies Magic Part 2.
Can't wait.
In London.
Oh, I can't wait. We'll talk about it on Monday. I'll see you at
I will see you Monday.
I'll see you
we
at
have to
8:40.
tell the people we
Are
are on Monday.
Are we on Monday?
We are.
I thought somebody sent an email about it. And
you did see the email.
But I don't know if I read it. You tell me. Am I working Monday or not?
We are on Monday.
Okay, we're working.
Monday.
We're going to work.
We will be here on MLK Day.
We will be here on MLK Day, so we'll be looking back at Grizz Magic on Monday. I'm going to see you at 8:40 on Monday. All right. Bye-bye. That's Jessica Benson. She's out the door. We come back. We got to get moving. Penny Hardaway's Tigers back in action this weekend. They're playing Road Runners. We'll get you ready for it. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
The Grizzlies are the one thing everyone in the family can agree on. So join us every Sunday this season for Sunday Family Fun Days. It's a steal at just $35 and includes a ticket to the game, a $10 food voucher, post-game free throws on the court, and a meet and greet with mascot Grizz. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now for this unique experience your family won't soon forget. Go to grizzlies.com/Sunday and have a fun day. How would you describe your rookie season so far?
Growth. The best way to grow is to be thrown in the fire, and I think coaches and all of my coaches have done a good job with that, because I remember having a conversation with him. He was like, the fastest way and the best way you're going to learn is if I throw you in the deep end and you try to keep your head above water.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in. Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you. Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Penny Hardaway's Tigers returning to the court this weekend. Oh, we're starting with Memphis UNLV. I'm out of order. Big scheduling news yesterday,
Yes,
Big Ben Bennett.
very
and
big.
I wanted to put this at the top. Here's the truth. I probably wanted to start with Penny Hardaway's Tigers, so that's where my mind was. But I know what week 0 possibilities mean to you. I've heard you talk about this in the past. You've always wanted the Tigers to be involved in week 0 action. And now you have week 0 action. It's Memphis, UNLV, a home and home. It starts at Allegiant Stadium this upcoming season in week 0. Do you approve?
Yeah, this is just awesome scheduling by Ed Scott and that athletic department. Like the reason being is, so this replaces the Arkansas game, the one that they were going to go play in Fayetteville, which we knew that was going to happen already. And it's just smart. Like ever since this week 0 thing started a couple years back, I've always been like, Memphis needs to get involved in this, because you find yourself watching outside of whatever that game is that's going to be played overseas in Ireland. You find yourself watching, let's face it, like silly matchups on that day. Like you're watching, Sun Belt teams play each other and stuff like that. And typically it staggers throughout the day. So it's not like it's very unlikely that Memphis and UNLV are going to be playing at the same time as other teams are going to be playing, maybe one other. And so you're highlighted on that day. And outside of that game that's going to be played overseas, this might be the biggest game of the day. It's two. We'll see what Memphis is going to be under a first-year head coach, but UNLV is going to be good.
Yes.
And it's two like brands playing against each other. Usually outside of that one game that I'm talking about, it's, maybe a brand and a bad team or something like that. Like, this is a really good week 0 game, and it's going to highlight the Tigers. I love it.
You've got all of that right. It's two of the best brands, just recognizable brands outside of the traditional power structure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people know the Memphis Tigers and people know the UNLV Running Rebels. Now, that's mostly dates back to Tark in the 80s and the 90s, but still, like, it is not uncommon. You could, somebody releases the biggest hip hop album of the year, and they might just randomly reference UNLV just because. Like, that's still a thing. Perhaps for older rappers, maybe more than youngers, but you get the point. It's a brand. So Memphis, UNLV, two brands. You can assume both are going to be good because one's been good basically without exception for a while. That's Memphis. And the other has got Dan Mullen and was just good.
Yep.
And Dan Mullen's going to be good because he is good. Then I guarantee you, Scott took this into consideration as well. Las Vegas. People like to go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, man.
It's like if you were like you're doing the same week 0 matchup, but it's with, I don't know, I'm just going to make up somebody here. It's with Marshall. Ooh, it's Memphis and Marshall in week 0. I don't know. Go to Marshall. But Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to Vegas.
Yeah, man.
Let's go to Vegas and see the Tigers.
It's also a good way to get excited about a new head coach coming in here because, again, like if you're playing that week 1 first Saturday of college football and you're playing, a home game against, a not great team, you kind of just get buried and people are flipping around and watching other things. Your focus is going to be on this game. I love that.
It's going to be here. This is good scheduling. Congrats to the athletic department for getting it done. Memphis, UNLV, home and home, starting week 0, this upcoming series in Las Vegas.
Number 2.
Now we get to Penny Hardaway's Tigers. Yep. They're back on the court this weekend. It's a Sunday game at 5 o'clock inside FedEx Forum against the UTSA Road Runners. They're bad, buddy. They're 4-13 overall, 0-5 in the American. So this should be no problem. But if we've learned one thing about these Memphis Tigers, it's that I guess you never know. Projected score at KenPom, Memphis 81, UTSA 59. So it should not be close. If it is, something's gone terribly wrong. And you're going to be completely overshadowed by the NFL playoffs.
Yeah.
Like there will be Tiger fans who say,
I'll be here. We're doing radio up here, so I'll be here.
There will be Tiger fans who say, man, I'd like to go see them play some Road Runners, but, it's the Final Four, Elite 8 of the NFL playoffs. What amounts to that? I'm going to stay home and watch that. This is something I remember Tubby Smith talking about when he was the coach of Memphis for a couple of years. He hated how often
Sunday games. I think they're good later in the season once you're outside of football.
Maybe, but it's just, and the reason it's when the Americans signed the ESPN deal. Well, ESPN,
we need programming on Sundays.
They got ACC teams to put on Saturday, SEC teams to put on Saturday. That's taking all the inventory.
That makes sense.
And then on Sunday, when you got the NFL dominating everything, well, that's when we'll throw your little American games on. So Memphis, you get to play Sunday afternoon a lot. Tubby hated that, and it's still a thing. So Memphis, UTSA, Sunday inside FedEx Forum. Barring a surprise, the Tigers should improve to 9-8 overall, 4-1 in the American.
Number 3.
Point shaving scandal rocked college basketball. The indictments came yesterday. It is almost entirely low major and mid major programs that are involved, with the lone exception being DePaul, which is just kind of hilarious that DePaul just gets sort of lumped in there with all the low major and mid majors. But it is 26 people arrested, including several former and current college basketball players. The indictment says that 39 college basketball players on at least 17 Division I teams either fixed or attempted to fix more than 29 games. So here's what was happening. These players were getting approached by people who were, involved in this gambling scheme. And Bennett, let's say you're the second leading scorer at Kennesaw State. All right? It's mostly happening at the low mid-major. So you're the second leading scorer at Kennesaw State. I create a relationship with you. I get to you somehow. You're at Kennesaw State. You ain't making no money. NIL anything. Revenue share is not really a thing. Now, keep in mind, you used to play for an AAU team out of Atlanta. You played on the EYBL circuit, and you were teammates with a 5-star guard and a 4-star whatever, and that 5-star guard just went to, the SEC, and he's making $1.1 million. And your other teammate, he's making $600,000 in the ACC. And you're down here at Kennesaw State, you broke, all right? But there's real money out there for basketball players, including your friends, and you just happen to be at a small school where they don't have it. But people around you are getting rich. People got real money. You ain't got nothing. By the way, team's not very good either. And so you guys are losing more than you win anyway. This is a hypothetical, but this is basically how it went down. So then you find vulnerable people in vulnerable situations. You get to them. And here's how the conversation goes. Hey, Bennett, so you're the second leading scorer at this school. Could you use $30,000? I got $30,000 cash for you. Man, what are you asking me to do? Well, let me explain, because I can't be throwing I'm not asking you to throw a game. What are you talking about? No, calm down. Let me explain. We're not throwing a game. It's going to be about a first half line, all right? So you're playing this school on Saturday. The first half line is that school is favored by 2 in the first half over you. Now, what that means, if you don't understand gambling, is people can make a bet on just the first half of the game. And whatever the score at halftime, that's the deciding score. So it's your opponent -2. That means I just need them to be up by at least 3 points at the half. All right? However you can make that happen, that's what I need to happen. I got $30,000 for you. Now, when the second half starts, go win the game. I don't care. So I just need you to be down 3 or 4 at the half. You're probably down 3 or 4 at the half anyway. All right? So here's free $30,000. I just need you to, hey, you know what? Let me put it this way. Go play. Just go play and let's see what happens. But if you get to a point near the end of the first half where, you're up or it ain't, then I might need you, let's miss a shot. Let's turn it over. I just need you to be down 3 at the half at least. And then after that, go win the game. So we're not fixing a game. We're just making some money. And the school should probably be paying you anyway. It ain't hard to see how this happens, huh?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, what I saw yesterday, reading about this and it's like what you said, these power schools, there's too much at stake. You're making money. And so when someone comes to you with that, it's like, no. But
when you say that and you're that's mostly right. It's not a coincidence that this is mostly happening low major, high majors, but we've also had these types of things in Major League Baseball and in the NBA.
Oh, that's true.
Where you're dealing with multimillionaires.
That's true.
And that is proof that this can touch any campus, because you can't say in the Big Ten, that's a Sun Belt problem because they're down there being poor in the Sun Belt. But we're the Big Ten. Our players wouldn't do that. Buddy, Major League Baseball players have done it.
That's
NBA
true.
players have done it.
That's true.
And they got more money than your players. So anybody's susceptible to this.
Yeah.
Anybody. And I guess we were just always going to end up here once we normalized and legalized gambling. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. I've taken, I don't know how much gambling money over the years in terms of FanDuel reads.
No, gambling's fun. I like it.
Every time somebody sends me an email and says, hey, we got a new FanDuel read, that pays the bills, on some level. And so I'm a part of the problem, perhaps. But this has gotten to a place where it's so pervasive and so everywhere that we might just have to live with this. I think probably sports commissioners and the feds are hoping that big headlines like this will just scare everybody straight. You guys can devise whatever plan you want, But once these big bets start falling into place on mid-major first-half lines, we're flagging that.
Yeah, just because you're at Kennesaw State doesn't mean we can't find what you're doing.
In fact, we can probably find it easier because you're at Kennesaw State, because we have no action on Kennesaw State, and then suddenly there's action all over the country on Kennesaw State, because that's the way it would happen. They'd get these deals locked in. Here's $30,000 for you, 20 for your teammate, 10 for your other
Why
teammate.
has everybody betting on this game? Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, now you go put $100,000 at this book. Here's another $40,000 at this book. Here's another $50,000 at this book. And now you got hundreds of thousands of dollars locked up. Now let's go cash these tickets. But you can take them to all these different, there's monitored, all this stuff is monitored. And so when there's abnormal activity, it gets flagged, and then they start looking into it. And now here we are, 26 people charged with felonies. So I think the feds hope that they can scare people straight here. But there's always going to be somebody who's desperate and who thinks they'll get away with it.
Yeah.
And so I don't think these stories are going to go away. I think this is just, as sports fans, we're going to have to live with this. This is just going to be a part of it. It's a problem. I know it hasn't impacted the biggest names in sports or the biggest franchises in sports, but it'd be foolish to think at this point we won't get there. This is probably just the beginning, not anywhere close to the end.
Number 4.
The rich get richer in Major League Baseball. What? This doesn't seem fair. Why did the Dodgers get to sign Kyle Tucker?
I feel like you've said that a few times over the years.
Why did the Dodgers get to sign Kyle Tucker?
Because they're the Dodgers.
$60 million a year.
Yeah. It doesn't seem fair. I agree.
The back-to-back World Series champs with the highest payroll in baseball, and so clearly the best team in every way imaginable, gets better.
I mean, I think their response would be quit being poor. But the Mets aren't, so you got no excuse.
Nobody. I was so happy when the Mets got.
Why didn't y'all do this?
No, the Mets were throwing money at him. Nobody wants the Mets money. When you hear about somebody signing with the Mets, you know what they do? It's like, I guess it's so much money. I guess I got to take it.
What the hell?
They got a culture problem, it appears.
Yeah, I bet.
And the Dodgers have the opposite of that. Like, that's the other thing that everybody says about the Dodgers. It's not just the place with all the money and the willingness to spend it. It's also like, here's what everybody says. It's the best place to work. If you're a baseball player, that's where you want to work.
You get to live in L.A. It's a great organization.
Everything about
it.
Like Edwin Diaz, the Mets closer, signed with L.A. And part of the reason was his brother used to be with the Dodgers. And his brother was like, bro, if the Dodgers are willing to give you that contract, you're going to love it. It's everything about the organization from top to bottom is first class. Everything's great. What are you going to do? They have a well-run organization and all the resources in the world. It's like they're the Oklahoma City Thunder, but in Los Angeles.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Damn.
It's like they're the Thunder, run perfectly, the model of everything, but they also happen to be in big market Los Angeles, California. It's tough to deal with. Congrats to them. Congrats to them. Kyle Tucker going to be a Dodger.
Number 5.
All right, Bennett. NFL playoffs, 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. Turn me up. What should I be excited about?
I mean, the best game is the first game, Bills-Broncos, in my opinion. Like, this, we're all Bills fans. I mean, come on. Like, how are we not? This is the story. This is the path is open. We're all Bills fans. We want them to get their first Super Bowl. We just do. We are all Bills fans because we like Bills fans. We like Bills fans. Yeah, those are good people. I know plenty of them, and they're good people.
That's right.
Yeah.
And do we like Josh Allen?
We love Josh Allen. Josh Allen seems like a great guy.
Doesn't he?
Yes.
Like, I don't know Josh Allen. And so it's possible he could disappoint me in real life. But based on everything I've heard about him and seen from him, seems like a delightful young man.
Yep.
Like, I would like him to, this is the way I always put it, I'd like him to be my quarterback and or my neighbor.
Yeah. And like the Broncos, like whatever, they've won Super Bowls. Like, it's just, that's boring. It's boring.
The Broncos are boring.
It's boring.
Bennett thinks the Broncos are boring. I don't know that I think that, but it's fine with me.
So go Bills in that one.
Okay, 49ers Seahawks primetime Saturday night.
I think I just think the 49ers story is like, You know, all these injuries. They've dealt with all these injuries, and look, here they are. They just lost George Kittle for the rest of the season. Like that, I feel like you just root for that. As a Grizzlies fan, how can you not root for that?
You want to see the injured team flourish?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where we're at on that one?
Yeah, we want the 49ers.
Okay, then on Sunday afternoon, it's Texans-Patriots at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, I hate both of these teams. Not the Patriots as much as the Texans. I guess go Pats, I guess. But then I got to root for my former coach to like continue to thrive, and that hurts.
Well, it ain't like he left you because he wanted to leave you. You got rid of. You broke up with him.
No, I love that guy.
You broke up with him.
I love that guy. So yeah, I think we're going Patriots there. Plus, I like Drake May's wife's videos, like the baking videos that she does.
I haven't seen Drake May's wife, but I bet
she does all these. I
bet she takes good pictures,
dude. She did all these.
Let's see Drake May's wife.
did all these baking videos
You
around
just
the
keep
holidays,
talking.
and it made me happy. It made me feel good.
Let me see if Drake May's wife would also make me happy.
And she seems like a super pleasant person. I don't know where your mind's going, but
I'm just trying to see what we're talking about. You know, put a face with a name and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she looks cute. She looks like she looks like she works out.
Anyways, go Pats. We hate the Texans.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the Bears. Like, how can you not root for the Bears?
How can you not root for the Bears?
This is easy. This is pretty easy.
They say the MVP's on the other side, though.
Matt Stafford has had an unbelievable season, man. It's really crazy. I mean,
how does that happen?
We're a few years removed from talking about his back problems.
Last thing I heard about Matt Stafford was like he couldn't throw the ball anymore. That's what they were saying. They said he's got a shoulder problem and a something else problem, and it might just be over for him. And I was like, well, you know, at least he got out to L.A. and he spent all those years in Detroit, and then he got out to L.A. and he got him a Super Bowl. And you know, if that's
right
it,
off into the sunset.
If that's it, man, that's a hell of a career, you know. Yeah. And then I look up and I'm just like half asleep watching NFL Countdown or something, and they're like, Matthew Stafford's going to be the MVP. I said, I thought he was dead.
I think it helps that he has the best offensive player in football as well to throw to in Puka. So
that little fella,
that helps. He ain't too little.
He's a problem starter.
Puka.
Every time I see something about him, he seems to be starting some problems.
I like Puka.
He's a little wild on the internet.
Oh, yeah. I saw him getting wild on the internet.
He gets a little wild on the internet.
I saw him getting wild on the internet.
He gets a little wild on the internet sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think it's got to be Go Bears.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
I'm excited, man. Big weekend of sports. Love the NFL playoffs.
All right, Bennett, let's go. I'm fired up myself.
Yeah.
We'll be back with GP's carryout.
Tell me about being a rookie in the NBA. What has that been like so far?
The coolest part is, having a class with you they're all rookies. So if you go to an NBA game, you kind of know a lot of the guys that are rookies there because you went through that process of draft workouts, playing against them in college and stuff. So I think it's cool to have that camaraderie.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Just $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition hoodie not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your next chance to collect the second of 4 designs on Saturday, January 31st when the Grizzlies take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. A limited number of hoodies remains, so act now and buy your tickets today at grizzlies.com/Saturday. That's grizzlies.com/Saturday. Let's do carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
All right, Bennett. While some NFL franchises are going to be playing football this weekend, your favorite NFL franchise is going to be conducting an interview. They're still looking for a head coach, and according to Adam Schefter, the Tennessee Titans will spend Saturday meeting with former Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy. Can I interest you in a Mike McCarthy?
This isn't the first time we've heard that they might be interested in him. You know, out of all of these, I don't mind this one. I know that it didn't end well in Dallas. The Cowboys are a super polarizing franchise. I think Mike McCarthy's a pretty good coach, and I think that he's a guy that knows how to run a team. He's won a Super Bowl before. He's gotten really elite quarterback play from his quarterbacks. I don't mind this. If we found out that he ends up being the Titans' next head coach, I would say, okay, that's fine. I wouldn't jump up and down and be super fired up, but I would say, all right, let's go. That's cool.
Ringing endorsement.
I'm totally cool with Mike McCarthy. I think that he's a solid head football coach.
You've been beaten down. You don't even have passion no more. You've been beaten down.
No. Out of all of the candidates, he's closer to the top of the list than the bottom for me.
All right. Well,
yeah, I'm good with Mike McCarthy. He's good in my book.
I hope you get what you want.
Thank you.
All right.
What's today's biggest game?
Let's do college basketball. 7 o'clock prime time. Big network game on Fox. Big brands. Both are unranked, though.
Okay.
Unranked Baylor at unranked Kansas. It's Baylor and Kansas inside Allen Fieldhouse. Darren Peterson is expected to play. I didn't want to be thinking about the lottery ever to the degree we might have to, but, it is what it is. Darren Peterson, the projected number 1 pick of the 2026 NBA draft, will be in prime time tonight. Kansas minus 7.5, totals 155.5. How you going to act?
Scott Drew always has his guys ready to play.
Does he?
Yeah.
He just lost in FedEx Forum not too long ago.
And Scott Drew always has his guys ready to play.
Okay.
We're covering.
Bennett said he's riding with the Baylor Bears plus 7.5 inside Allen Fieldhouse. You can watch it at 7 o'clock.
What are we watching on TV?
Okay. You watch whatever you want on TV. Bennett sent me a interesting TV story, so I wanted to use this space to.
No, this connects. I can connect the dots.
You can connect the dots. Yeah. Okay, so here's what the story says. George R.R. Martin. I don't know why you need all those R's. I never.
But is that even? Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with all those R's?
I know. Okay, go ahead.
Bro, you're not that important. Get rid of one of them R's. Who do you think you are? Putting 2 R's right in the middle like that. George R.R. George
it's
R.
Unique. It's unique.
George R. No, George R.R. Like R.R. Like you put 2 of them there. Like I thought it was supposed to be like Michael J. Fox, not Michael J.J. Fox. What are we doing? What's this guy think he is? All right. So he was asked about his relationship with House of the Dragon showrunner Ryan Condal. He described it as abysmal. What's happening, Bennett? Why do these men not get along?
And I saw people saying, well, that's why season 2 sucked so bad. I didn't think season 2 was that bad. It was just anticlimactic.
Honestly, you ready for this?
Yeah.
For $1,000, I couldn't tell you how I did.
Okay.
I don't remember. I think that old fella died finally.
Yeah. So here's the thing: is we all saw what happened with Game of Thrones when they ran out of the source material from his books, and that last season, I mean, everyone would agree was kind of a disaster. So he clearly, you need his input. I think it's his brain where all these ideas came from. So I don't like that it's become abysmal. The reason that this is coming out and he's doing all these interviews is the new, I bet you didn't even know this, the new Game of Thrones series starts this weekend, Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
I can't do another one of these.
You're not going to do another one?
I mean, I guess I will, but it's just too much.
I'm in. I
like these, but man, I have to study them.
I loved Game of Thrones.
I have to watch it and then I have to read about it, or else I don't even know what's going on.
I did read. I read all the books.
They name all these fellows the same thing.
Yeah, they do. They're a lot of the same. Well,
remember that one
lineage, the same houses. You got people from the same houses.
It's just a lot going on, man. And
Okay.
I can't even keep track of my own family.
I'll let you borrow the book, then you can.
I can't even keep track of my own family that well.
I haven't read Night of the Seven Kingdoms yet. I do have it on my shelf, so I need to probably knock that out between now and Sunday night. But I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it, and I think George R.R. Martin's input should be valued by HBO.
Okay, so as he tells the story, it's funny because you can see how this works. Mm-hmm. He's like, I hired Ryan. This is the way he tells the story. So I hired Ryan to do House of the Dragon, and at first it was great. This is how he tells the story. He would work He'd work on scripts, and then he'd bring them to me, and I'd say, I like this, I don't like this, change this, and then he would change what I asked him to change, and then it was great. And then at some point it was like, he'd send me the scripts, and I would say, I like this, but we should change this. And he would say, I'll look at that. And then he wouldn't change it. And then it would be like, he'd write the script, and he'd say, what do you think? And I'd say, I like all of this, but you should change this. And then he wouldn't change it. And the next thing I know, HBO's calling me saying, hey, we're going to send you the scripts, and then you send your notes back to us, and then we'll send them to Ryan.
Yep.
And that means Ryan has said, get this old man out of my ass. I can't deal with this anymore.
And what you're learning about these studios is they want your IP, they want the world.
And then they want you to shut up.
But they don't want your input.
They don't want you to be overbearing.
We're going to change things up.
Yeah.
We're not going strictly by the book here.
Yeah, old man. Yeah, that's what it is. Get this old man.
Do you think he's that old man? That'd be really rude.
Well, he is old man, isn't he?
He is old, yes. Yeah. He is old.
Yeah, that's too many R's.
George, let's finish Winds of Winter. Come on, man. I've been waiting a decade. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't understand any of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I look forward to the new show. What's it called again?
Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I believe that's the official title.
All right.
Yeah.
They gonna have dragons again?
No dragons in this one.
What?
This is a lower scale production than Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon.
Not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you got plenty of dragons. You'll be fine.
What about Khaleesi? She gonna play a role in this?
She was not born yet, so she will not be in this series.
I like HBO shows when Khaleesi is born. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was great. She was great until she went crazy at the end. But she was
lost
great.
it a little bit, but it can happen to any of us.
Yeah.
It can happen to any of us.
What's the best thing we've read?
Top 25 and 1 is updated over at CBSSports.com. The Grizzlies aren't the only team dealing with injuries. Guess who else is? Gonzaga. Second leading scorer, Braden Huff, suffered a left knee injury in practice earlier this week. He's going to be out 4 to 8 weeks, they say. If it's 8 weeks, that takes it basically to Selection Sunday. So they'll be fine in the WCC without him because they're way better than just about everybody in that league. But you'd want to get him back sooner rather than later to have him in rhythm for the NCAA tournament. You want to read about that, you can find it CBSSports.com.
What's going on this weekend?
Oh, man. Everything's going on this weekend.
We play a game in London.
There's going to be a basketball game in London. We don't know who's going to play in it and who's not going to play in it, but I'm sure we'll find out eventually. And then we'll come back in here on Monday and discuss it, and who knows where we'll be on Monday.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to try to enjoy mine. We will meet back here Monday at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.